Hello, my name is Lyndon Thorpe, and I'm the host of Escape the 9 to 5 Grind and Financial Mastery with the Anti 9 to 5 Income Plan. Welcome. This is event 2 of the 13 cycle series. And today I'm going to be explaining what this is all about. So if you're joining me live, then I'm here waiting, but if not, I'm recording. So if you can't join me live, you'll receive a recording as well as a startup guide after the session is finished. Okay, first of all then, what I'd like to do is to show you a presentation. And this will introduce all of the ideas. It will also introduce me, and you'll get a good idea about the whole scheme of things. So if you're joining for the first time, we do have quite a lot of people joining tonight. So I will make some references to the first event, which was last week. Okay, so here we are. The anti 9 to 5. We've got Joseph here. Oh, Joseph, please join us if you can. Thank you. So here is the main introduction. As you know, the whole scheme, the campaign is called the Escape the 9 to 5 Grind Financial Mastery using the Anti 9 to 5 Income Plan. Okay. And for event 2, there are some reflective questions. I feel that this is a very good way to get as much as you can from each event. So I formulated some questions for you to think about. So even if you're not live, please think about these questions, okay? So as you know, this event is called the Ancient Little Known Secret of Getting Everything You Want in Life. Okay. There is a way to do this, and I'm going to be showing you all sorts of tricks you can adapt, all sorts of strategies to change your life, basically. So the key to this secret of getting everything you want in life is, surprisingly, gratitude. Yeah, gratitude. If you are not grateful for the things which you have now, today, here and now, then there's a very slim chance of you being really happy and really truly engaged in a meaningful life. Gratitude is a very amazing, positive emotion, and we are losing it. People are losing their sense of gratitude because we're so comfortable. Everything is so convenient. Yeah. So, can you remember the last time you felt truly grateful? And can you remember why you felt that? Please excuse my throat. I've got a very, very bad throat. Lost my voice 3 days ago. Just about come back now. So forgive me, it's not very stable at the moment. So think about gratitude. What is it? How do you feel it? How do you express it? In ancient times, people had a sense of awe. Yeah, of course, we say awesome a lot nowadays. It's a very fashionable word. But truly, in the past, people had a genuine sense of awe. They respected the earth, they respected nature, and they had a truly excited feeling of existence. And although in the past there were many more dangers and life was much more difficult than it is today, people retained that sense of awe. and had great respect for nature and the earth. Well, I'm afraid that has gradually dwindled away. So now we're left in a very, very convenient and comfortable life, most of us. But the earth is suffering. We have exploited the earth, and the resources are dwindling. And as a conclusion to that kind of behavior, we've got climate change, we've got terrible storms, we've got natural disasters, we've got pandemics. And so, yeah, if we can rekindle this sense of awe and be grateful for our existence, we have a much better chance of being happy. And I'm going to show you during these events how to be grateful and what it entails. So please think about, please reflect on these questions as I talk through my presentation. Well, let me introduce myself again to you. I think we have many new people tonight, so forgive me if you were here last week. I introduced myself briefly last week too. I've spent most of my life as a mindful educator, working latterly with university students, but I started out life as a musician, and I was a professional musician, pianist, cellist, and also singer. And I was professional for a few years. But as we all know, the music world is like the sports world. You only have a few good years. And so I began to look around for other things to involve myself in and became fascinated by communication in general. And that led me to qualifying as an academic English teacher and also specializing in English as a foreign language, an academic language, and a second language. And that's how I made my academic career by writing papers and so on. And so communication was a kind of natural progression from music. Music is communication. Communication is a kind of music, if you know. We'll talk more about those later. Spiritual training, yeah, I'm highly spiritually trained. In fact, I'm a Buddhist priest. I was ordained 6-7 years ago, and I've spent most of my life in Buddhist training. And so I'm bringing all of that background now into this campaign. And my approach is one of anything is possible. We have untapped potential. We have to believe deeply in ourselves if we want to be able to lead our ideal life. I'm a writer. I've written several books. I continue to write copious numbers of articles and so on. I'm a creator. I like to create images and so on. And I'm a websitist. That's my word for blogger. I hate this word blogger. So I have websites and I publish to my websites all the time. Also, briefly, I'm an alternative practitioner. I qualified and worked for a long time as an Alexander teacher. That's body re-education, basically. And I still practice that myself. It was wonderful working with, especially with people with health problems, spine problems, confidence problems, using the Alexander technique, FM Alexander. I'm also a qualified music therapist, and worked with music as a therapy, mainly for autistic children and adults, but also with many people with emotional problems and so on, using music as a therapeutic tool. This was a fascinating period of my life. I'm also an Indigenous wisdom advocate because I've spent a long time admiring and, in fact, spending time with ancient tribes, with First Nations, as they're often called, and particularly in Australia. Australian Aboriginals. I had very formative experiences with them some years ago, which have changed my life, have also influenced my attitude to life in general. And that wisdom, mixed with my spiritual Buddhist wisdom, creates quite a powerful package, I can tell you. But above all these things, I'm a human being living fully on planet Earth, and never more so than now. And I'll tell you my story in a moment. My motto is diversity, equity, and inclusion. Maybe some of you recognize this motto. It equals right living in the Buddhist perspective. And so I believe my work with this campaign will embrace everybody, regardless of status, gender, age, condition, location, and that's why we are having such wonderful opportunities to communicate via the internet. My story, briefly, which underpins the this campaign, the Escape the 9 to 5 Grind campaign, started with my retirement from teaching 2 years ago. I retired, and I really was in quite a state of shock. I spent many months just recovering. I was burnt out. I was so exhausted after a long lifetime of work. And then gradually, as I began to recover, I had a terribly poignant feeling that, in fact, I had rather neglected myself during my career, in my second-hand life, as I call it, empowering other people, empowering my students. And please don't get me wrong, I loved my students, they loved me, we had a wonderful time. But once I'd retired, I began to realize how much I had neglected myself, my dreams, my aspirations, how I'd put them aside to embody and help students embody their own future and their own lives, and to empower them. So I decided it was time for me to step out of the shadows of my second-hand life into the limelight of my first-hand life as an internet entrepreneur. I decided I wanted to make a lot of money. I wanted to use my own creativity to do that. And I started to search for a mentor. I realized that although I had taught advanced business studies to my students as some of my courses, I'd never actually been in business, and I really didn't know exactly what it entailed. So I needed a mentor. Started searching on the internet, and quite quickly I found a really amazing guy called Michael Cheney, who is a multimillionaire. And after a number of hurdles, he decided to accept me as an apprentice. So I am an apprenticed millionaire. And my teacher and mentor is Michael Cheney, who you'll be hearing a lot about during these events. What does Michael Cheney teach me? Well, mainly marketing skills. I'm now quite an expert marketer. I have studied the strategies. I've now put them into practice in my own businesses, and I'm ready to share that with other people. So Michael Cheney initiated me really into the business world, and he's a very special man. He wants to empower other people. Now he's reached his zenith, multimillionaire. He now wants to hand on the legacy to his apprentices, and he's teaching us everything he knows, all the secrets, all the strategies. And so I feel very blessed to be a mentee of Michael Cheney's. And this is how and where and when the seeds of the Escape the 9 to 5 Grind campaign were sown and began to germinate as I ventured into the world of business. I've had tremendous support from Dr. Noyer at SDIG. Some of you may know on LinkedIn. He's supported my campaign wholeheartedly. He's interviewed me, and we've got plans ahead to try to elevate my activities and make my campaign more widely known. Now, event one, maybe you were here, maybe you were not. I'm just going to go through it. And basically, you can see this image here of people breaking the chains or chained to the 9-to-5 grind, constantly watching the clock, constantly trying to find an alternative to what they're doing, not at all engaged and very unhappy mostly, as 85% of people in full-time employment are. So what happens when you break the chains of the 9-to-5 grind? Well, first of all, you step out of the shadows of your second-hand life. You step away from dependence on an employer, on the benefits an employer can give his employees. Step away from all that. You step away from being a highly paid slave, which many people consider themselves to be, and you step away from abdicating responsibility to anyone except yourself. You become entirely self-reliant. You step away from expectations because you engage only with your own expectations and aspirations as a netpreneur. So other people's expectations really don't register very much at all. You step away from a relentless routine, the 9-to-5 grind, as I call it. Maybe you step away from workplace stress, commuting, bullying, etc. And maybe you're stepping away also from sacrificing yourself and compromising your values. And instead, you're stepping towards things like passive income. These are some of the phrases you need to know. Income streams, financial mastery, and building and creating from scratch. Now, this is breaking the 9-to-5 chains, and you need a transformation to be able to do that successfully. So once you're in the limelight of first-hand life, and you can see how transformed this couple are, now they are released from their chains, then you become truly independent. You find financial freedom. You attract wealth, and you do that in a very positive way. You build, you create something unique, which comes from you, from yourself, from your creative reservoir. You establish a strong digital ID for the future. The internet is our future. Any more wars or pandemics or natural disasters, and we will find ourselves isolated again, and our only resort will be the internet. It is our refuge. It is our commercial hub. And so I encourage you to really take this seriously, everybody, okay? No more work. I've ceased to use the word work. It is a misaligned word. We have abused it. We have conflated it. I no longer use this word work. I use create. I'm going to create something now. I'm going to build something now. We are involved actively in helping our audience as business owners. And also, by doing that, we're contributing to the internet community. And we must become unswervingly devoted to our creativity, our judgments, and our thoughts and dreams. When you move and transform from being dependent and abdicating to an employer. You move into a completely new pool of light in which you devote yourself to yourself, and all your ideas come from you. This is what happens when you escape the 9-to-5 grind. You need to shift your mindset. You need to train, you need to develop yourself. There are ongoing challenges, so you need to build resilience. You need to be active above all. You can't sit back and be complacent when you're a business owner. You need to make decisions every day, important decisions. You need to set goals, clear goals. And you need to network and build up a really supportive network of people around you. You might be surprised to hear that Buddha, the Buddha, said, all that we are is a result of all that we have thought. And so connecting with our innate creativity, all human beings are innately creative. Okay. Please accept that. It's true. You'll see if you stay with me. So all that we are is a result of all that we have thought. In other words, everything we think manifests. Hold tight. Another good quotation here is Mahatma Gandhi, who I greatly admire, who said, "Be the change that you want to see in the world." Yes, we want change. Nobody's very satisfied with this world as it is. It's in a mess. It's chaotic. It's unequal. It's inequitous. It's many things. We'll talk about that. So, event 2 is called The Ancient Little Known Secret of Getting Everything You Want in Life. I hope you're still reflecting on what I asked you to reflect at the beginning of this session, which is gratitude. When did you last feel truly grateful for something? Sorry. So the 3 key points for event 2 are the role of gratitude in personal and professional life, techniques for cultivating gratitude, and how happiness can enhance productivity and creativity. Gratitude equals happiness, as I mentioned before. If you're not truly grateful, you'll never be truly happy. So what is gratitude? Yeah, it's a very maybe vague concept to you. It's not just saying thank you. We're taught that if we say thank you, all will be well. But it doesn't stop there. Gratitude can change your entire mindset. And I'm a wonderful example of that. It's a very positive emotion, and one of the most positive. It opens up many opportunities. If you are grateful, opportunities will arise that you could never imagine. And according to research, it brings about a 25% plus increase in happiness. And as I mentioned before, awe has been replaced by expectations. And if expectations are not met, people get angry. They get depressed. They withdraw. Okay? So we have to rekindle this sense of gratitude if we're going to be successful entrepreneur. Excuse me. So what is happiness? Well, it's certainly not ready-made. We create it. It comes from our actions. Buddhists call it karma. Karma is action. It means action. So every action has a result, cause and effect. Excuse me. But most people live recklessly and they don't care what they do. They don't believe that there is a ripple effect from everything, everybody does in the world. This is a very deep topic. Happiness boosts productivity. Again, this is well researched. If you're happy in what you do, you can produce much more. It also enhances creativity. Now, happy people are creative people. And most importantly, it improves our overall well-being. We can change everything. Remember what the Buddha said, that we are a result of everything we think. Okay. So imagine if you're happy all the time, then you're going to live a very different kind of life. You're going to be much more mentally balanced. Now, mental health problems are now at a high level, at such a high level. Okay, so happiness can solve these problems. And the other thing that all human beings have in common is that everybody is searching for happiness, for true happiness. My Escape the 9 to 5 Grind campaign will launch you on the happiness path, and you will gradually find it. And then the final comment I want to make, it often makes people very curious. Excuse me a second. Some years ago, I realized that it was my moral duty to be happy. My moral duty to myself first. I had to be happy. That's what I can do best of all for myself, make myself happy. Happiness doesn't come from other people. You may feel that other people make you happy, but that's your choice. We choose to be happy or not. So some years ago, I decided my moral duty was to be happy. And if I was happy, the people around me would be happy too. This is a big topic. Moving on. So basically then, look at this wonderful woman here. Everyone is looking for something in life, everybody. Okay? And what they're looking for is true happiness. They may have a sense of happiness, but true happiness, what is that? Every human being can shine. I meet so many people who say, oh, I can't do that. I'm no good at that. Oh, I've got no skill. Oh, I can't imagine doing that. You know, they have no self-belief that they can shine. Every human being can shine. And it's my mission to help people to shine. And we can see this beautiful woman here is so serene and so happy. And she's an internet worker. She has her own business and she shines, she radiates with self-satisfaction. Yeah, every human being wants to feel fulfilled. But how many do you know who do not feel fulfilled? We also need to feel loved and respected. Those are important things. To do all this, we need to connect with our true nature. And you may say, what is true nature? Well, I am an exponent of true nature because Buddhism, Buddhist studies, Buddhist pursuits are always working towards that aim, that we uncover our true nature, which we were endowed with at birth, but gradually gets covered over by social layers, by social voices and expectations, and we end up wearing so many masks to cope with society that we bury deeply our true nature in order to survive. True nature, another very deep topic. Stay with me. So here I've wanted to show you some truly happy people. You can see at the top a Tibetan Buddhist baby monk. These are very common. They join monasteries at the age of 3 or 4. And I have never seen or felt such happiness in my life as I have with young monks. They are pure and they just radiate happiness. How do you do it? Well, you need to start mindful practices. You may say, what are they? Well, stay with me, because I've spent a lifetime in mindful practice. Mantras are important. Maybe you know the word. Today they're called affirmations, but Buddhist mantras are something a little different. Meditation. So these 3 things, the 3 M's as I call them, they can help you, lead you to find your true nature. I'm offering on the Escape the 9 to 5 Grind campaign a free 30-minute Zoom session with me. You can claim your spot now. My Calendly link is in the startup guide, which you may have already received if you registered at the beginning of this series of events. And certainly you will receive it today if you register. In the startup guide, you will find my Calendly link at the back of the flip book, and you will be able to book in with me for a 30-minute session. I can, in 30 minutes, very quickly sketch out a plan for you to find your true nature and to live your ideal life by stepping away from the 9 to 5 grind into the limelight of your first-hand life, being unswervingly devoted to your own creativity, your own judgments, your own thoughts. But hurry, because spaces are getting limited. So if you would like to talk to me, do it quickly before I get really booked up. Now, if you have registered for these events but can't attend live, I think you may be very happy to watch this very small video. Let me show it to you, because my voice is now beginning to give up. And it's a video of me speaking about the e-workbook, which is live. And if you don't know about that, please just listen to this video for a moment and you'll find out what it's all about. Unique that I've just you, the live e-workbook, designed as the perfect companion to our Searching Event series, Escape the 9 to 5 Grind. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly is a live e-workbook? Let me take you inside. This isn't your average e-book. It's an interactive experience packed with resources that will guide you step by step, breaking free from the 9 to 5 grind and stepping into your first-hand life as a successful entrepreneur. Here we are inside the Escape the 9 to 5 Grind live e-work. And at the beginning here, we've got a table of contents, some nice images. These are the websites that you have access to through the workbook. Each of these images has a link attached to them. And then we start the events. And you can see for event 1, First of all, you have an article, several articles, then you have some exercises, and you have some affirmations. And then I provide self-reflection pages. So you can actually type on these pages and record your feelings, your notes as you progress. Then we've got lots of videos which have been made to guide you for each event, and opportunity for self-reflection. Then inspiration, so amazing books that may inspire you, and images, and so on. Each event has so much packed into it, and it's growing all the time. After each event is finished, I upload videos that I made, I add more text, more inspiration, and so on. And there are other resources too. Now, this e-workbook, live e-workbook, is a growing document. It's growing all the time as the events progress. And it's totally compatible with the flipbook, which serves as a startup guide and resource catalog. So here you have all the information you need about how the events work. My biography, you have an events list here. And then you have all the training opportunities that with the events, Michael's financial mastery, everything is included here in the flipbook. So really using the e-workbook and the flipbook in conjunction together, you can get a terrific overview of the 13 events series Escape the 9 to 5 one. I'm excited. Okay, so I'm back now. That's an amazing document, which you might like to take advantage of to help you progress through the events. And so, yeah, just moving on a little bit, you're going to step into your first-hand life. If you're going to quit the 9-to-5 grind and break the chains, then you're going to start a brand new life where you will be truly happy and truly creative. And this, in fact, is my partner, Michael Chaney, multimillionaire. I mentioned him to you earlier. He quit his job when he was in his early 20s. He couldn't stand the idea of working for someone else. And he found genius ways of making an income, a very good income, from the internet. And so once you've followed my events, you'll have the opportunity to follow his anti-9-to-5 income plan, 5 free video training, which is excellent. If at the end of that, he feels you have made the transition and you're ready to become an entrepreneur, unswervingly devoted to your own creativity, your own judgments, your own thoughts, then he may invite you to become part of the Millionaire's Apprentice School. I'm a member of this. I'm one of Michael's apprentices. And as I've mentioned, and here we have a really excellent 600 strong community of people all doing the same thing. We are on here daily. We have leaderboards. We communicate with Michael every day. He is not a distant leader at all. He is extremely hands-on. And we have a classroom full of training. We have regular events, or something every day, training or meetings, and so on. And you can see here I am number 2 in school. So I'm one of his top students. Now, I'd also like to mention that one of the other activities that I'm finding helps people to think about escaping the 9-to-5 grind is writing newsletters, real letters. These are not emails. These are true letters. And I write 2 newsletters every week. I've now got over 600 people reading them. One is Study Wellness, which comes from my time as a university teacher and all the strategies I developed to help people with tension and stress and studying deeply and so on. Study skills, really, but also spiritual insights into studying too. This has now reached 50 editions. I've been writing this for 1 year. It's now going to get really big. I'm putting it on another platform and, you know, hoping to really get more and more people reading. The letter form is one of my passions. I don't want to let it die. I'm determined to help preserve it. The second one is more aligned to escape the 9-to-5 grind. In fact, I started this when I was formulating the campaign, and it's called Wellbeing, Work and Wealth. This is weekly too, and this is where I discuss many strategies and transformations you can make to move away from being dependent on an employer and start building your own business. And these are my 4 websites. I'm very proud of them. I've produced these from scratch in the last 8 months. And later on in the series, in fact, event 6, I talk very detailedly about how to create your own website and the importance of having a strong, galvanized digital identity. You can also access these through the workbook, and the website links are in the startup guide too. I run workshops which may suit your time zone. Please connect with me if you want to know more about those. And so that's the end of my small presentation. I'll come back to you now. So that's event 2 of the 9-to-5, Escape the 9-to-5 Income Plan, 9-to-5 Grind. Forgive me, my head is very fuzzy with this strange condition I've got. And I hope it's given you an overview of the whole campaign. I hope you'll join me next week for event 3, which is called You May Think You're Just Like Everybody Else. Another conspiracy. We have great future ahead of us on the internet. So you need to think strongly and carefully about creating an absolutely solid digital ID for the future. Yes, you may say, oh, I'm okay. I'm young. I'm employed. 400,000 jobs will be lost within the next year because of AI. No traditional jobs are secure. Recessions are forecast. More natural disasters, maybe more pandemics, you know, things are not stable. So we need to create our own future. And I'm going to show you how to do that. So please join me next week for event 2 and find out how you are unique. There's nobody else like you. We are all unique. Unique DNA, even identical twin, they're not identical. So join me next week for event 3, same time, same place, and you'll receive follow-up mail if you've registered with the flipbook and with the recording, the full Zoom recording, so that you can watch it again or watch it if you couldn't watch it at the time. And yeah, thank you so much. There is so much I can offer you with the Escape the 9-to-5 Grind campaign. Please join me next week. I hope my throat will be better then too. Thank you so much. Goodbye.